like to introduce my special colleague who's from National Central University, Taiwan, whose office is right next to me and knock on my door every 1 hour.
Is 200.
Professor Chan's keyword is highly associated with us. IDC, seamless IDC. IDC refers to interest-driven co-creator theory, and his keyword also includes AI, learning companion, platform of reading for tomorrow, and mathematics learning. And he has been working for education for more than 40 years, and his efforts he has been a conceptual leader and practitioner of digital learning in Taiwan, and his influence has gone far beyond to other countries around the globe. And he just been awarded by Taiwan government of Science and Technology Contribution Award, and also the National Chair Professorship, awarded by the President of Taiwan. I believe he can give us and lead us to another brighter and alternative future. And today, he's going to tell us what global hardware is, and he's going to tell us whether global hardware should it be our global educational goal. Professor Chan.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Morning.
Thanks for the introduction, and thanks for inviting me to share these ideas with you guys here. Actually, this talk is based on a series of thoughts. What happens? They are still in the nascent stage by a group of international researchers, mainly the Asian researchers here. So today I'll talk about some concepts, some thoughts. Global hardware goal, seamless AI world, seamless IDC theory. So these three concepts or thoughts. I need a remark first. I think most of us here, I must say, and then we are researchers in our field. I'm an ordinary person, maybe you are also an ordinary person. So we are not experts in philosophy, politics, and religions. However, I think we still can propose some possible candidates for the global educational goal. This because we can base on our knowledge and our life experiences. If you are home then you have a very rich life experience. And actually, there's no need to deliberately consider religious doctrines or ideological belief, at least at this moment, I think. So can I ask you a question? Have you ever thought about the following? What do you aspire or you want in your whole life? 10 seconds. Can someone tell me? Only one sentence.
One word, happiness.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, it's sensitive. Yeah, okay, now, all right. So, as I said, most of us here are ordinary people. Perhaps we can ask, what do most people aspire in their whole life, right? Of course, it's almost the same thing, right? No problem. And then we can associate for the answer the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You are very familiar, right? talking about the physiological needs, safety needs, love needs, esteem needs, needs of self-actualization. All right? This question also leads us to the concept. Happiness, we just talked about that. The eudaimonia from Aristotle, 1,000 years ago. And there's a new name, a modern name for eudaimonia, it takes the well-being. 200 years ago, I think, something. And then the founders in the positive psychology people want to use this word. All right? So, Martin Seligman, sort of the father of the positive psychologist, he wrote a book several years ago, and he promoted this PERMA model: positive emotion, engagement, positive relationship, meaning, accomplishment. The interesting thing is that he claims this model, all these 5 elements are measurable and teachable. Okay, it's getting very popular model now. So let's adopt this name, well-being, in our discussion, because it's a broad term encompassing various aspects of our to have a good life in our daily life. So maybe when we think of this, maybe we can take well-being just the hierarchy of this plus PERMA. All right. Now the answer is well-being. Okay. No problem. Okay. Really okay. 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 So now there are 2 concepts with education. We can think about well-being in education. Possible? Can we attain well-being through education? Right? Another one, education for well-being. So should we ask ourselves, is education for the purpose of achieving well-being? These are kind of very different questions. Right? So, of course, UNESCO have different kinds of documents on well-being, especially during COVID-19. All right. However, unfortunately, human basic needs like the physiological needs, safety needs are at stake. Like the pandemic, climate change, wars, food, they are all at global scale. Can education help? Can we solve these problems? That's why we need a global educational goal to lead our global endeavor to solving these kinds of problems, I think. This is the outline of my talk. So, the first one is my personal journey of wondering about global educational goal problem. I just talked to during some people maybe I'm a very strange people. Why sometimes I go to something so high level. So this is a personal journey, of course, when we work together with many people around. Okay. So let's go back to my PhD thesis. So I use a saying, studying with the brains, and then I propose the computer can be simulated as a learning companion as well as a virtual tutor in 1988, many years ago. Right? And then when I went to Taiwan to start my career, I developed a limited learning system dedicated for learning, to support collaborative learning and also competitive learning games, as well as modeling the virtual tutor. And there are a series of study over there. And then I had the opportunity to have a keynote in AIED 1995. And then the title, I wrote a paper based on the keynote over there. Learning Companion Systems, Social Learning System, and the Global Social Learning Hub. Why I can bring about that? Because in my early 90s, we did a lot of work on different kinds of level-playing, how this level-playing can help students to learn. And then I know about students to be at the center. These days is a popular term. Level social learning around provide a lot of resources, including the virtual learning comprehensive, something like that. And I also, in that paper, I claimed that learning beyond condition, 5 educational goals: condition, motivation, sociability, attributes, ethics. So I guess my research journey, when I work with many scholars, affected by this kind of thinking at that time. So it's also interesting to have a revisit of my AIED 2007's keynote. Maybe some of you were there. Okay. So I propose that there could be, based on my observation of the research among our community, I find that originally we had the dream-based research, we had the emerging technology, and then we say, oh, this emerging technology can change the education, to revolutionize education. For example, the AI in 1970 and 1980s. Now people these days also thinking that AI is new. It's really old to us. Very strange, right? So anyway, the AI in education today is also the dream-based research. It's a dream, okay, to change education. And then it comes to adoption-based research. Why is so popular AI in education these days? Because the ChatGPT. Because many people can adopt it to different areas these days. And then at that time, not many people think about the humanity-based research. Humanity-based research. I think I can still remember Professor John Self in his keynote sometime in 1992. He mentioned the major characteristic of intelligent tutoring system: care the students. All right. So I think this is the humanity-based research. And then I also mentioned beyond knowledge acquisition, start with the confidence. Confidence is very important, and then it will go to 4 different domains: cognitive, affective, social, and also attitudinal. And then going up, critical thinking to creativity, interest to passion, leadership, and so on. And then inner freedom. I will come back to this one later. And then I mentioned what does it mean by humanity. And then I said, bettering yourself, nurturing a caring family, incubating a humane society, fostering a peaceful and collaborative group. It's from inside to outside, step by step, right, in your life. So, in that keynote, I mainly talk about the 4 problems, the 4 challenging problems, grand challenging problems. Then I mentioned that this is based on my observation again in our community, their work. So I don't have time to explain the detail of these problems, especially the first 3 grand challenging problems. Maybe one day I can write a paper talking about that. Okay. And then I mentioned the global educational goal problem is the last grand challenge problems. I proposed this problem because I didn't have any idea. And then I don't think most of the audience over there, they don't have the idea. Okay? So if I ask you a question, what is education? Can you immediately tell me? So I talk about the well-being of the humankind at that time. The group is at stake. the same. And then we worry about our next generation, whether they can survive in this planet. And the nuclear holocaust, Earth resource exhaustion, and all these kinds of things. We don't worry about the nuclear holocaust. Sorry. Coming out. Oh, clever. It's clever technology. Okay. And all these kinds of things. Okay. However, I read a book by Wilson, Hereditary Development, Aggression, Sex, Altruism, Religion. When we are talking about the civilization, and then, but our human nature with the aggression, at the same time with the altruism. We should minimize the aggression and then maximize the altruism. This is the civilization, right? And then at that time, many mass multiplayer online games. Today they changed the name, called it the metaverse, because advocated by the Facebook, getting so popular these days. However, we also worry about this MMOG for learning, whether they affect extensively our learners' value, could be against that, or can be good citizens. So for us, I mentioned that we are very powerful because we design education. We design education, that means we design the future society. We are very powerful. So, and then I asked, what is the global educational goal? What should we do for it? At least I have no answer, but I just mentioned a global collective endeavor. But there's not an answer, right? I think maybe part of the answer. Okay. So because the last problem, the last grand challenging problem is very important and pressing, so I put it back, one slide, put it back. It should be the first problem. Okay. We are now in 2023, right? We are all in here. You must heard about this book by Dickens 160 years ago. The first sentence, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the apple of belief, it was the apple of incredibility, incredulity, sorry. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, and it was the winter of despair. What happened in the last few years? I didn't worry about the war, but last few years I worried about the world. And also worried about my granddaughters, grandsons. The world is really on the brink of peril. The human lifespan is extended. We have more people, they can live longer, right? But at the same time, so many people deceased, died in a short time before our eyes. Digitalization enables all of us to connect and communicate, but we constantly quarrel over different beliefs. I really hate that, in a way. Online games immerse players, but children's addiction may become a disaster. The world is on the brink of the peril again. Artificial intelligence can improve human life, but it can also cause great harm to humanity. We know about it very well. The metaverse may represent a bright future world, but it may also signal a dark episode to come. We cheer for technological advancement, but worry about climate change and all these kind of things today. All right? More recently, we noticed the rising frequency of global conflicts. Such threats are even more acute. So, Professor Keynote sent me this story. He said that at the end of the World War II, a letter was found in Nazi concentration camp. The letter says that, "Dear teachers, I'm a survivor of a concentration camp. my eyes saw what no man should witness: gas chambers built by learned engineers, children poisoned by educated physicians, infants killed by trained nurses, women and babies shot and burned by high school and college graduates. So I am suspicious of education. My request is help your students become human. Your effort must never produce learned masters, skilled psychopaths, educated instruments. Reading, writing, arithmetic are important only if they serve to make our children more human. So, what is education? So, what is the future of humankind? Can we live in harmony with our environment around us? What role does education play in this turbulent world? Remember, if there's no harmony, there's no well-being. Right? So what is education again? Have we ever thought about our education go at a higher level than you guys? If not, are we sure that we fully understand the position of our research contribution to the future education? Okay? We have to think about that. Or do we just let the ever-advancing technology guide our research? Or because we can get more funding if we do that, right? May not be good for education. Okay. Remember, I said before, designing future education is designing the future world. We are powerful, but we must be responsible and careful. Also remember, the education we impart today will determine the destiny of all humans in the years to come. In 20 years or so, today's school students will be in their 30s and 40s and emerge as the pillars of our society. Thus, what do most people aspire in their whole life again? A possible answer is harmony and well-being. Is effectively the essence of humanity. Then what is harmony? Well, you can look up at the possible dictionary, agreement and feeling of sentiment, peaceableness, concord, combination of the piece of past elements of related phrase so as to form consistent and orderly whole, agreement upon congruity, and there's some slowness. So, one thing is that, at least to me, is balancing elements within society among individual in human nature relationships in order to achieve a peaceful and a sustainable state. Also, if you look at the research, basically there are three types of harmony. Individual harmony with yourself. So it's a state of peace, balance, and contentment within oneself, some things like that. Social harmony with the society. Peaceful coexistence and mutual respect among individuals within a community or society. Environmental harmony with the nature. So the balanced and sustainable relationship between humans and natural environment. Obviously, you can think about this, the UNESCO's 17 SDGs. Well, you can summarize these 17 SDGs. They are basically talking about equity and environment. So equity is related to social harmony, and the environment is related to, of course, to environmental harmony. So, of course, UNESCO also have documents on harmony. Actually, when we, in our IDC theory, we have one component, important component is harmony. Furthermore, we can So we can divide into humanity harmony and environmental harmony. For humanity harmony, individual harmony, something like inner peace, satisfaction, balance, coherence. This is what we talk about in our ICCE theory. And then the family harmony. It's about love, care, modeling, parental respect, societal harmony, equity, inclusiveness, integrity, all these kinds of things. And then the global harmony, like the SDGs, global citizenship, global competence, things like that. Now, I just said, usually we think about this from inside to outside. But in the future, at the same time, we have to think about, to talk about, or to teach our kids from outside to inside also. Okay? So basically, harmony is talking about this. And the environmental harmony we keep to reduce or minimize global warming, natural disaster, food, poison, food depression, all these kinds of things. So global Harwell. Harwell is the name combining the harmony and well-being. So this is the summary. Okay. So, however, actually I did some experiments. I asked my friends who are not academia or my colleagues who are not doing research, some research assistants, staff. And then for most of them, they will think of harmony is more related to social relationship, and then well-being is more associated with individual. Okay. Also know that no global harmony, no societal harmony, no family harmony, no individual harmony, no individual well-being. Okay. Also know that if most people aspire to achieve Harwell throughout their life, then the primary purpose of creating knowledge is to help people attain Harwell. The very reason of existence of technology is to help people attain Harwell. Hence the purpose of education. What is education? Is to help students attain Harwell. But why global? Because when we move into the digital future, our world is getting smaller and smaller. People interact across the globe so closely, yet they are situated so far away. You have this experience a lot in the past few years. We want all students in the world to enjoy an education full of Harwell and sustain it in their subsequent lives. Now, how? How to establish it? That means we need a kind of global Harwell education to achieve this global Harwell goal. So first conceptually we need to describe what is the world of the digital future, in which the global Harwell education is a part of it. So we propose to have this notion, just like seamless learning, with the seamless AI world. Seamless AI world could be a candidate concept that succinctly and accurately captures the essence of the world of the digital future. Okay. We also need a design theory. Seamless interest-driven co-creator theory could be a candidate. We need to revise our own version of ICCE theory so that it can support global Harwell education in the seamless AI world. So this is a conceptual equation, formula. Global Harwell education is about a global Harwell goal. A goal tells us about why and what we should do there. And then we should mention about the tools that world around us, as well where to learn and who to learn, and the technological support. And we need to know how to design. That means we need a theory to inform us how to design. Brief description, seamless AI world and seamless IDC theory. So let's go back to the slide I just mentioned. I guess I follow this idea, the social learning club. I have a gym there, and then after my 1995 AI Unit talk, and then in 2000 we built a very large online learning community at ICCE, possibly the largest community in this century. We have 1.5 million users in 2004. And then a kid who is a Professor Yang is here, right? Yeah. She worked with us to develop online teachers. Young kids can get online teachers only 13 years old. Okay, very interesting. And then this is the network science exhibition. And then the youth school band, classroom kickers. So today we are talking the one student, one tablet, something like that. So we also develop this card, and also mobile learning in the campus. Some visitor, scholar visit our camp, the experimental schools, work watching, mobile learning in 2002, more than 20 years ago. Hybrid society, things like that. And also some people say that it's a learning society, the first learning society in the world. And then I did a conclusion. When we have all these mobile technologies, one student, one tablet, and when we have this big electricity community, online community, and then what is the summary of this one, so that we can continue. So I noticed there's a theme. At that time, we have the big online community, but no student have a computer. But now, after COVID-19, every student have a computer. Okay. At the same time, there's so many problems. Okay. And then we work with a lot of people from Europe, also from America, and have this seamless learning co-authors. It's about the seamless learning space, physical space and virtual space, and the social space, and things like that. And there's a long definition. It's the first paper in this new journal at that time, Web Time. Okay. It's also marked by continuity of learning experience across different environments. Advocated by Long Xiang Wang and Chicken Noi, they are here. And then I noticed that there are 7 books on seamless learning when I looked it up in the Amazon. Interesting, right? Besides a lot of journal papers. So, what's your imagination of metaverse? Yeah, faster and faster. But definitely it's much more beyond this AR, VR, and MR. Some more first. Okay, metaverse versus seamless world. So, the keynote speaker at the Metaverse ACCES 2022 last year, he said that metaverse is an interconnected digital world that seamlessly integrates physical and virtual worlds. You know, it's very, very similar to seamless world. But we claim the seamless world should be a real world, not the digital world only, that seamlessly integrates physical and virtual spaces. So we first, in one sense, we may define seamless AI, a real world that seamlessly integrates all things, including physical and virtual space, empowered by AI, right? specifically, seamless AI world is a world in which resource can be seamlessly and equitably accessible, AI-empowered, and safe. And also, I'm not sure whether we should have the concept of seamlessness. It's include about the accessibility, seamlessness, and also the continuity, seamlessness, resemblance, seamlessness. It's difficult to distinguish a robot and a human being in the future, right? So also we should think about the well seamlessness and also the ill seamlessness. This will be a lot of research if you think about all these issues. Okay. So we need to revise our original IDC theory to more emphasis on the collaboration, the co-creator theory. I'm not sure whether I should skip here this one. Okay. Actually, in 2009, after doing so much things about online community, mobile learning, in the cloud, and then we go down to the ground. I go into the school and do an experiment for a year in one of the schools in Taiwan near our university. Very quiet, in the morning. But all the kids, they are with their books. And then the teacher is a model. It's a video model. Also we did the writing with peer response. And then we find there are remarkable research results. They read a lot of books. And then their writing can reach to the 6th grade, from 3rd grade to the 8th grade. And then some of their word choice number ideas very noticeable. Okay. However, when we think about our Asian education, talking about the reading, we have read the Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and so on, but they don't like reading. Good score, but they don't like reading. All because of our education, right? Teams, so great, but they don't have the confidence, even they are doing very well, right? So examination driven, we are heavily examination driven in Asia. So it's a way to destroy interest, destroy learning interest. That's one of the major reasons I sent my daughter to Canada, a better country, so that they still can maintain their learning interest. Not in Taiwan, they have examination every day in their high school. Okay, so low interest, low confidence. So actually, interest doesn't seem to be a word in the education dictionary in Asia. So we collaborated to write a paper. We spent about 10 years because we are not good at developing theory as the Western researchers. So going back to here, why I think about the interest is one reason. I know confidence is very important, but if you don't have interest to learn, confidence is not a problem. So we should start with the interest first. And also they have very good performance, even in the examination performance. And then this engagement, that's like the flow. This is also very important part in IDC theory. And then the harmony, also in IDC theory. Okay. So there are 5 key elements of IDC theory. I would say interest is a mental representation, some neuron structure in your brain. Okay. Some people call the agency here these days, but I think it's some mental representation in your brain. And then we should treat creation as learning process. If you look at the Bloom's taxonomy of objective, basically creation is learning. And then interest is also a learning strategy. How to make learning interesting. Not only how to make learning interesting so that it can, if you are learning mathematics, mathematics could be your interest. You can develop interest in your brain. Happy, regular interest development. Collaboration and co-presence. Just like the MSSR, invitation. Even co-presence, very, very important. It's the culture. You are affected by the environment. So in last 30 years or more than 30 years, the psychology people work on the interest based. There are two kind of interests. It's situational interest first, and then later on they have more stable individual interest. So I would like to change the individual interest to enduring interest, more stable interest. Just like fishing. Fishing can be your interest or hobby, right? And okay, thank you. And then I will propose to add one, because when it's not only the hobby. Sometimes you pick your interest. You have some goal. You want to attain this goal. And then one of your interests, one of your enduring interests may become your career in the future. So this is something that's the pursuit of your interest. So we did the interest development look here, day by day, week by week. And then how we make learning interesting? So how to make it interesting? Curiosity is the most important component. And then engage student university is another component. And then make sure this learning is meaningful. In the sense it's related to your background knowledge. In the sense it's related to your goal. In the sense it's beyond yourself. You should help other people. You have some sort of achievement because helping other people. Okay. So we need the learning interest development look over there. So that's what I said about learning. Learning is so imitating, combining, staging. And then learning speaking is creation, learning cooking is creation. And then make all these components interesting. So we need a development loop to make in-learning interest of domain, to develop the interest in your brain. So that's why we did a happy loop. And then we have the harmony over there. Okay. And then actually we mentioned about in the original IDC paper, we mentioned about the individual IDC as well as group IDC. But we need to emphasize this more in the future. And actually, we should emphasize the co-interest, co-creation, and co-happy. Because this will help us to develop a harmonious culture. And it's just a slight change because from creator theory to co-creator theory, both see over there, so we can maintain the see over there, the IDC theory. Okay? And first, we can define seamless IDC theory, a theory that informs how to design IDC-based learning in the seamless AI world. So a framework of how global hardware education. Oh, sorry, you can see very clear. So there are 4 components: learning activities, seamless learning activities, seamless accessibility, hardware environment, and then hardware outcome. So learning with hardware well is learning accessibility. Sorry, the learning activity. We design learning activity with a mind that we should learning with hardware well use. The seamless accessibility is about human resource accessibility, digital resources, and digital safety. And this is the seamless AI world. And then the hardware environment, learning with hardware environment. And then we based on the seamless IDC to design the learning activities. Finally, we hope we can attain hardware. Ultimately, it's a hardware world. Also from learning activity to other daily activities. Yesterday I read one of her slides is a lifelong learning. In the first 20 years, you are doing your education, meaning, and then you work for 40 years or 30 years, right? And then retire. Yeah, our next generation, they are getting very long life. All of them may be 100 years old, retired. Okay, so from learning to work to entertainment to business activity. Now you may ask, what's the global citizen trait in the future? Maybe we call it the HICCUS. However, a person practicing however as personal well-being goal, interest-driven creator, aesthetic being. So the exercise, right? Sport, the arts and also the sport. So a possible approach, spreading the thoughts and initiating actions is awareness. So what I'm doing today is awareness for the research community in this area. Maybe when you go back to your country, you should spread, you should do some awareness for your local government and people around. The model site, we need to have experimental model sites. Maybe a class, maybe a school, the whole school. Perhaps we can have a global educational similar to what I thought about the global social learning club. Create a global educational by closely connecting these sites via technology and dissemination. Spread out the principle of global education and education as meaningful practice. So here, there's one probable example of IDC-based, SIDC-based learning, MSSR in Taiwan. So go back to 2009, our experiment. Teacher is the model. Imitation is very important. The teacher is the model. Teacher is the model. It's a reading model. The principle is also the model. Can you find the principles? You find it by testing over there. So for reading, the principal and the students have equal status. You believe it's lifelong learning, lifelong reading. Also, we promote this MSS in the mountain. Difficult areas. So also reading outside the classroom. While they are waiting for some practice of their health examination. Yeah. Also, parents are invited to read with children in the class because many parents, they don't know how to have their kids to read. Okay? So they should go to the school and then to read with the kids together. After that, the parents know how to read together with the kids. So mother reading with the kids. Mother reading with the kids. Mother reading with the kid. No father. Okay. Very close, see, very nice. You know when the kids, when they go to the high school, they don't talk to you. So if you can exchange stories in the book, you can have more conversation. Very nice, right? Because because mirror, in our brain with the mirror neurons, imitation is still the most powerful way to learn. But basically, we won't just mirror or imitation. We always combine our background knowledge with other new ideas, combine something new and create something new. So also, book cost in pairs, small book, they can digest the output combination, combine different things, have their own stories. So you can see this is a seamless learning because we connecting the kids in the school to read, and then to the family to read, and then outside the classroom to read, and then using the technology to support. All right. Today, just a month ago, we find that there's 2,000, more than 2,000 school they are practicing MSSR. The majority of the primary school in Taiwan, they are practicing MSSR. Maybe some teachers, only a few teachers practicing their school. Maybe some schools, the whole school practice MSSR every day. Okay, final remarks. So given all the deliberation, perhaps global hardware goal can be our global educational goal. I'm not 100% sure. I need to discuss with various researchers as well as other people from the academia about this goal. Some remarks. Look, if it is our global educational goal, it may take more than a century to attain the goal. Improvements never end. Possibly it's our ultimate educational goal. Well, I don't know yet. But we have to start it now as the world is really established. You agree? Furthermore, education cannot wait because our next generation, they are going every day. Mandela stated, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. The only way truly changing the world perhaps is education, I think. Hopefully it's global hardware education. Some evidence here. So our conference series to describe education in the seamless AI world, the best conference should be asymmetric ACES. This year in Hong Kong, and then next year in our university in Taiwan. This is my favorite slide. So teaching is caring and learning is joyful. So I think education is care and joy. I have a project called Lisa. Learning is happy. Long time ago. And then Lisa happens to be my wife. Care. I designed an AI language called the Carol 5. Carol, my elder daughter's name. Joy, I have a daughter, but my younger daughter's name. So Lisa equal care plus joy, not including me. More harmony. It happens to be my granddaughter's name. And more, however, it's the name of your students. Why? Because I have a class last year, 10 students, one of them is her students, and they should ask me, I asked whether all of you have an English name, and then one student said, Professor Chen, I don't have an English name. Could you please give me a name? Howard. Nowadays, whenever they walk along in the corridor, it just remind me, Professor Chen, I am Howard. I'm Howard. So I'm reminding me. So what's Chen for? Change picture. Okay. Oh, come on. What's next? Well, you can forget all the slides over there. This is the most important one. The online panel. We plan to host a series of online panels. A website for collecting opinions and ideas from researchers around the world. And then we warmly invite you to join us in this fruitful dialogue by participating in the online panel to discuss our perspective research. And co-authoring the paper. When we get satisfactory consensus in some degree, we may consider to co-author a paper for publication in our journal, tentatively titled on the global educational goal. We hope there will be more than 100 authors to co-author this paper, and then the author list is alphabetical. So this is really the last line. So this is the website. We will host some series of online panels over there, and then you can find some documents. Also, my PowerPoint today over there. All right, good. So take the website here. Thank you very much.
See, Professor Chen's brain is much bigger than mine. His brain can store all the history of the computers in education for the history, the whole history. And his brain is much more powerful to digest all the data and make it into insights and bring us into the future. And a great talk does not give us answers, but to give us many questions. So I think he does all this not only to listening to his own heart, but also from yours. So for the following hour, we will have a panel hosted by Professor Jack Lu. He is going to carry out this talk and then doing the discussion with all of you. So you could stay in here and do more discussion on following this talk. And before that, I'd like to show our appreciation to Professor Chen and thank you for giving us an insightful talk.